and welcome to the LGBTQ review. This week we're looking at SQIFF presents Gaysian Superheroes, which was a selection of short films that we watched at the SQIFF Scottish Queer International Film Festival in Glasgow. This was the final day we were there.
Yes.
It was good.
Was it only two filmmakers?
Yes, it was Pratt Palmer and Shima Matu.
Which out of those two is the woman that was there?
So the woman that was there was Shima Matu.
Yes. Her background is she was a fine arts student, right?
I don't know.
Well, she was an artist anyway from London who had moved around from Birmingham. We should say straight away that Gaysian is a title that she doesn't like. She thinks that gay and Asian shouldn't be like mixed together in that way, in terms of if you are gay and Asian, you're Gaysian. You can be more than one thing. I much preferred Seema's work to the other artist's work.
I like both of them.
Yeah?
Both of the, yeah.
Well, I found the documentary, which is Palmer's work, fairly... you gotta give it a bit of leeway. It was from the 90s or late
I think
80s.
that's why I liked it.
Yeah, so it had like a certain 90s look to it that I enjoyed.
Aesthetic.
But in terms of actual content, it was fairly mundane.
I quite liked it. I thought it was really interesting to find, to learn about LGBTQ people that were moving back to Delhi, wasn't it? They all moved back to Delhi.
That's right. But so yeah, the films were, there was a short by Palmer, and then Seema's work was far more close to, I would say, like moving image work, video artwork.
Yeah. So
kind of non-narrative.
So the first one was Bhangra Jig. It was about a young Asian woman walking through Glasgow, which was once the second biggest city in the British Empire. The
actual film itself was like shots of her kind of like walking around these kind of fairly like magnificent buildings, like quite grand buildings. There's like, I remember there being like a lot of pillars and stuff, and a lot of it was like images fading on top of each other, so it would be her kind of moving around and then fading into like these kind of like celebratory events. Like there's quite a lot of dancing and stuff going on.
All of those like column bits and stuff are like highlighting the signs of empire, and then colonial carnage, which is like quite good.
Colonial carnage,
Colonial carnage, yeah. So it's about Asian people coming together to make communities in these post-colonial, is probably the wrong words, but post-colonial, empire states.
Yeah, it was good. It was only short. What, it was like 5 to 10 minutes long.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Well, there you go.
It was commissioned by Channel 4 in 1990.
When they did stuff.
It did feel like it was commissioned by Channel 4 in 1990 to celebrate Glasgow being the cultural capital. 1990? Is that what it is? European cultural capital. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? So the next one was by Shima Matu, and it was Electric Toothbrush.
I found particularly quite fun, actually. Like to watch it is quite like an enjoyable and quite, you're just like drawn to it.
I don't know if I would describe all of the subject matter in Electric Toothbrush as quite fun. No,
not the subject matter, but like visually, I find it like quite quite like, it's just like,
it's visually upbeat.
Yeah, all her films
were good.
Yeah, it's a generalisation to say, but at least these films that we saw, there's like the conflict between her South Asian cultural identity and her sexual identity, which she was talking about in the talk. She was talking about it later when she was when she was being interviewed, that she was kind of forced out, and how she had made a lot of work that was like her kind of gay work, as she labelled it, secretly at university. And now her work is very much visibly to do with her sexuality. Oh, well, should we talk quickly about
the other film? It's the one about the South Asian people, LGBTQ people moving back to Delhi.
The documentary.
Having lived in the West, which in this case involved like Canada, the USA and the United Kingdom.
It's very, the people talking, people being interviewed in the film are very forthcoming, and there's not that kind of like, I don't know, they're very open to talk about how they actually feel and stuff, which sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's like, because it's so specific of a time and what the experience is.
No, the 90s, they were better times. I mean, yeah, sure. Sweeping statements, you go. I think something that was very interesting about it was hearing about their experiences dating people of other cultures in the West. What did they cut to? Just some like women lying around? Which I thought was very interesting, because they were talking about on the gay scene, they would encounter people that would think that they were like exotic, or like, this is a quote, full of Eastern promise, which I think is really weird. And how other people just didn't care at all. They're just like, yeah, hi, sex now. That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
That's how you pick up people. Should we talk about the discussion afterwards?
Yeah, it was really interesting to hear her talk about the films. We got a lot of information about that.
Yeah.
But there's not hostility in the room, I wouldn't say that. But there's very much like this attitude of like ready to kind of pounce on people if they made a mistake in terms of like terminology.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a safe place to have a discussion.
Yeah, the main problem with it, I thought anyway, was that that kind of attitude, it kind of shuts down conversation. And the artist was very like forthcoming with like, oh, why do you think that? Let's have a dialogue with it.
Yeah.
But
people behind us were not happy.
I wouldn't be able to stand up in a room full of people and talk confidently. I don't think.
No.
It's quite hard to do. Like even the artist talking, she like kind of bumbled over a couple of like terms and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the festival was not like that really, and
no, it wasn't like that at all.
it was very much like.
It was a shame that it was like that in that discussion.
I highly recommend you see her work either in a gallery, because that's where most of the stuff is shown, or if you can, see it at film festivals.
Yeah, or just she's doing the month October residency on White Pube at the moment. So
check that out.
You have been watching the LGBTQ review, where we have been James and Beth. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and you like want to see LGBTQ content, because you're not really going to see it anywhere else now. You can follow us on Twitter at LGBTQ_review.